yours, theirs, and not ours. And I believe you're tasked with helping us, the legislature, understand fiscal impact of the various legislation that we put out there. And you had told us a while back that there were various models that were available, and we had a little discussion about the cost of being able to run these various models. Assuming that we were hoping to be impartial and look at these incentives in the cold light of math, how would we go about doing that?
Well, the two ratios that have been bandied about here just in the last few minutes are all coming from the same analysis. It's actually using the M-plan model. It's one of the models I talked about when I talked to the commission several weeks ago. They're both coming from the same report. They're both correct for what they are. They're just not the same thing. For every dollar of tax credit that we hand out, and it's been $1 billion over the course of a decade or so, the models estimate roughly $5.70 of total economic spending, gross spending in the economy. That's a double-counted figure, really, but let's just, without getting into a class on this, $5 of spending. We tax spending and the income that's associated with spending. And when you go and say for every dollar that we handed out in tax credit, what was the taxes on that spending we got back? And it's about 15 cents. That's with all the multiplier effects involved. That's not just looking at directly at the film industry. That's all the multiplier effects. Yes, sir. If the analysis, let's pretend the analysis understates the benefits of the program. Fine. Double it. Quadruple it. You're never coming close to the cost of the program.
Right. And as far as the methodology and the author of the report, where you're saying we're all reading from the same script, we're just reading from different portions of the script, are you confident in the methodology and the author?
It's a standard approach. I would rather use a little different model, a little more sophisticated model, but it is a standard, typical approach, and you get that same result. You'll get something close to that almost no matter what we do. Maybe not as well structured internally, but it's a standard approach. M-plan's widely used, just like the other ones that I talked about with y'all.
All right. When's the last time we, when I say we, the legislature, your office, did an analysis of this, if ever?
I looked at this program in 2005. That was, I think, what Jan was quoting, was a little report I did just for myself, really, in 2005. And it's got the same parameters, roughly the same results any time it's been looked at. And it's been looked at by LED for 3, 4, 5 times now.
Right.
And I do want to make something to in support of what Jason said, and I try to say this every time. The fiscal note's not the only reason we pass these bills. There are a variety of reasons why we pass these bills. They cost money. We are basically deciding this is what we prefer to spend our money on. And maybe when it gets to some point, we decide, well, maybe we want to calm this one down and we want to go some other direction, or we want to restrain something. We want to review it. But we're making decisions about allocating public resources. And we're spending money. I mean,
sure.
And in this case, over half this program now is it's essentially a rebate. We're now doing a buyback. We're just buying the paper back directly. It's no different than any rebate program.
And if we asked you to redo the math on this again to a level that we were confident in what's being done coming from your office, how long of a horizon would you need to do that?
Well, I don't actually have the economic analysis tool, the model. However, inside LED, they're in the process of, this report is done every 2 years. And I am involved to some extent in just looking over the basic parameters, and it should be coming out in the spring sometime. I mean, the law requires a 2-year, in fact, this may be one of the only programs that we require every 2 years they look at this and rerun the numbers. The results have been essentially the same every time it's been analyzed.
Okay. Thank you for your help. I have no further questions.